Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back. I'm Steve Williams. I'm here with Mike Williams, and we are all chiefed up. Today, we're going to be talking about Kansas City Chiefs rookie BRYAN Cook, safety from Cincinnati.
BRYAN Cook's time, people.
Okay, today we're going to talk about BRYAN Cook. Okay, what you know about BRYAN Cook?
Man, I know that we took him round 2, pick 30, number 62 overall. And I do remember on draft day, you lost your mind. You hated this pick.
A little bit. It's not that I hate BRYAN Cook. I don't hate that pick. I hate where it was picked, and I feel like it kind of messed up the way things could have been.
Yeah, you were very critical of Veach going way too overboard on defensive backs.
Just early. I felt like we still could have went and grabbed a Nick Bonito right there in that spot and still probably got BRYAN Cook, but that could have made us lose out on Leo Chanel. So maybe things worked out the way they were supposed to. But either way, that day I was a little livid at first. Obviously, I do like BRYAN Cook. So in hindsight, I'm good. I'm okay with it.
6'1", 206. He's got 32-inch arms, long arms, 8.5-inch hands. He played his high school football in Cincinnati at Mount Healthy High School.
BRYAN Cook was not a highly touted prospect coming out of high school. I think he actually only got one offer letter, and that was from Howard
University. Yeah.
Which he was actually a cornerback through high school, and he was recruited as a cornerback and actually played cornerback at Howard. He actually accepted Howard's offer and went there and played cornerback there. Their coach is huge on BRYAN Cook. Let me tell you, he talks about how great of a human being he is, how smart he is, how dedicated he is. He talks about how the Chiefs got a real one that's going to, put the team first all the time and everything like that. So, I mean, good things to hear from his coach there.
Hey, you mentioned he played corner. Listen to these stats. 2017 as a freshman, he had 10 starts at corner. 37 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 5 pass breakups. And in 2018, as a sophomore, he started 10 games, 56 tackles, 4 for a loss, 1 interception that he returned for a touchdown, and 7 pass breakups. So that shows that this kid can cover. And that's something Daniel Sorensen could not do. So applause for that one. Applause for that one. We got better.
Very versatile. A lot of people like to throw out that honey badger comparison and things like that. And we actually talked a little bit about some comps. Who did you comp BRYAN Cook to?
Dude, I see a little Brian Dawkins, and I see a little bit of Greg Wesley, the former Chiefs, the guy that laid the wood on the back end for a lot of years for us, a fan favorite in Greg Wesley. I see like a perfect combination. He's got, like I said, he likes to hit. He's not a ball hawk per se, but he's always around the ball, and he'll hit you and he can cover. I think his one knock and his one struggle is probably to defend slashers and those little, small guys, which obviously that's going to be a problem for a big hard hitting safety, and maybe a little top end speed. But other than that, man, if he can compare to a Brian Dawkins, I'll take that any day.
I actually comped him to Julian Blackman, the 2020 draft pick to the Indianapolis Colts. I think he was like a 3rd rounder, plays a lot like him. Also, I do kind of comp him to Eric Berry. I think he hits hard and with intent, like Eric Berry, Bernard Pollard, even maybe not as vicious, but he's on that level sort of. But I think he has more skills all around, more like an Eric Berry. So I do like that comparison. I know a lot of people in Chiefs Kingdom is going to be like, blasphemy, you can't comp him to Eric Berry, but everybody's comping him to Tyrann Mathieu, and I don't really see that as much. And I know you said you didn't either, but I think Eric Berry's a pretty close comp.
No, I think his speed is pretty comparable to Eric Berry. I think his willingness to hit you is more comparable to Eric Berry. I mean, let's be honest, Honey Badger stopped hitting anybody. This dude is like,
he's out
straight
there
up whiff.
Olaying everybody by. Looked like a bullfighter out there, but 22 years old. Bringing more youth to the team, which is what Brett Veach was doing all off season. He ended up going into transfer portal in college and left Howard and went to Cincinnati, and that's where he became a safety at Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, he had to sit out. I'm going to say 2019 or 2020 due to eligibility issues, but they cleared him. He went to Cincinnati, his hometown. In 2021, he was a first-team All-American Conference 93 tackles, 5.5 for a loss, 2 INTs, and 4 pass breakups. So he was actually invited to the Reese's Senior Bowl.
But I mean, if you watch Cincinnati's tape, there's 2 players that jump off that tape when you watch it on defense. That's Ahmad Gardner and it's BRYAN Cook. As far as like big plays, like big hits, and like, you know, I think that BRYAN Cook is where it was at.
Myjai Sanders off that defense. That was a heck of a defense, man.
They had a very, very good defense. And I mean, look, got them to the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think they're a little out of their league. I mean, they played with Alabama a little bit, but
once you throw Alabama in the mix, I mean, there's not a lot of teams in the country that hang with them, like, you know. But I mean, they put up a good effort. It wasn't bad. Well, what I really like about BRYAN Cook is he's a skilled enforcer. He's got good size, toughness, and good instincts. He's just a good football player. So, like, you can't teach that. There's a lot of people, you know, with all the good measurables and the speed and everything else, but they don't have that natural, you know, instinct just to be a good football player, be where they need to be when they need to be there. BRYAN Cook seems to have that, and he plays hard all the time. So that's what I really like about him. What about you?
Yeah, I think he's physical. He covers pretty well. He understands coverage. That's that cornerback coming into play. He's got a pretty fast change of direction. You know, for a safety, he's pretty fluid in the hips. He will hit you. He is smart. Again, this was a Veach thing. He wanted smart, football loving players, and I think he got it. And perfect to put, you know, behind that new death row group of linebackers we have. So now we got the enforcers. So we should put death row in the middle, and then if you get to the back end, that's the executioner back there.
Yeah, we talked about this before, and I like it. I like it a lot because Justin Reed, he's a hard hitter as well. I think if you get Justin Reed and BRYAN Cook together, it's going to be fun to watch. They're going to be the Bash Brothers from the Mighty Ducks is what's going to happen.
Yeah, that about covers what I have on BRYAN Cook, man. The only thing I know is that he turned me on to Gold Star chili, as mentioned before, and that is delicious. And I will always thank him for that. Thank you, BRYAN Cook.
I'm still going to have to check it out. Huge Skyline fan. Haven't had the Gold Star, but I keep hearing it's better, mainly from you. So we're going to see about it. We're going to see about
it. It's negligible.
Just very tiny amount.
Tiny amount. I mean, I didn't like any of the chili all that great, but after my recent trip, I actually like it now. I
always did like it. I think it's the chocolate cinnamon kind of thing. Gets a little bit of sweet going, but good and spicy. Just Cincinnati's got some good chili. That's about all they got good going on. Yeah, man. There, my opinion. BRYAN Cook, though, I think he's going to come in. He's going to be a good starter early in his career. He's going to bring a lot to Kansas City. And like his high school coach said, he's a very team first person. He's always going to be real. Just a great person in general. And I think we got a good one in BRYAN Cook. So props to Veach for taking him there when he did, even though people like me were just like, dude, what's going on here? What are you doing? I think he knew what he was doing. I think he was very strategic and he made the right call. So I'm excited to see how this defense shapes up. If you're excited to see how the defense shapes up and you learned anything about BRYAN Cook today, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to get notifications so you can see when we come out with new videos. And we will be coming up with one soon about Leo Chanel, our 3rd round pick in the draft, our new linebacker from Wisconsin. So stick around for that from Wisconsin.
See you guys.
All right, have a good one.